Hi Shreyas, welcome to episode 2 of the Hunger Free Diaries. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Mehul. How are you?
I'm doing extremely well, thank you. So, tell us something about yourself and what motivated you to join Atria Foundation.
So myself, Shreyas, and I work for Atria Foundation. So before this, I started working in social development sector in 2020. So it's almost been like 4 5 years now that I am being part of this sector, and I'm really loving it. And when the opportunity came in to work for Atria Foundation, right? So I grabbed in with full arms because I knew about the work that they had done in the COVID time. So 1.5 crores meals is something which is not you know thought about. So that the initiative that they had taken in the COVID days moved my thought, to imagine how foundation can work this sense. So I have heard about other stakeholders who have done it, but something which is close to Bangalore and as such, like it really moved my thought, and I was really grateful in joining this team.
So, what's your role in Atria Foundations?
I take care of the operations right from end to end, and yeah.
So, what does your day typically looks like at Atria Foundations?
See, the operation starts quite early, around 9:30 or 10. I get updates from our drivers on the locations that they have reached, right from the kitchen, the places that we serve, and once they are back, in our premises, as such. It's not that we aren't dependent on them itself. Like we also have technology which has been implemented, so we get the trackers update every now and then where they are, and it's a live tracker. So just to keep the operations quite have a human touch. So I do get regular updates on WhatsApp also on how things are going in. And also I be part of one of the operations, like let's say we are in Gosha Hospital and Gandhinagar. I will be typically in any of these locations at any given time, and sometimes if the operations get on Saturdays we do wind up early in Gosha. So I do take opportunity to visit Gandhinagar on the same day itself. So I'm occupied in this operations on everyday basis. Mehul.
Okay. So, when you say that you get updates from various teams, how do you ensure smooth coordination between multiple teams in Atria Foundation?
So we have invested quite well with the manpower, right? So we have a very good rapport that we have built with the stakeholders, like let's say our employees, and it also have we also have that sense of responsibility that we have allocated to each individual, and this enables them to be on their toes all the time. So if there is any situation that comes up, right, so they are well aware about how they have to tackle the situation, and also like to be part of this foundation work throughout. Let's say I'll just give an example, like in the day-to-day operations that we engage in, right, so our stakeholders, like beneficiaries, vary in all the mindsets. So they might be having a toughest day yet, so they might be a little harsh on us. So like there might be a 10-minute delay in reaching that place. They might be harsh on like, why is it late and all like that. Maybe they need another plate or something like that. So the kind of mindset that we have to be well aware and well prepared is something that we have invested on. So thankfully, we are on the right track in this sense. So yeah.
Okay. So, uh, can you highlight a unique challenge that you faced while operating our food banks,
Yeah.
and how did you overcome them?
So one such situation was, right, this truck, as we are speaking in front of this, right. So one such couple of months back, one of our tire got busted. So we always have to be a little, ahead of our scheduled time. Our driver Manoj was well aware of this situations might come up. Like as part of operations, we have a SOP done, and we keep updated on day-to-day challenges that will come across running the operations. So at that point in time, Manoj was very well aware of what he has to do before I reached the location. So he had already fixed the tire and was fitting the tire to the truck.
What, on a personal question, what motivates you to keep going even on your toughest days? Since you say your day starts somewhere around 8:39 and goes out
Yeah,
till 9:30, it is
yeah,
a 12-hour shift.
yeah.
So, what keeps you motivated and keep on going?
It's a sense of responsibility that you have on your shoulders. So if someone who has trusted and like they have given the responsibility to you, so you should always be in that sense of delivering it. So I take that very personally. For me, it is like someone who has given a task and like wants me to get this done. So I'm all for it. So when you have that sense of responsibility, it's always good to deliver it. There are worst of the worst days where I had a viral fever for 3 days and I couldn't get up, but still I used to get the updates, and I was giving the instructions on how things can be worked out. So these are the situations where it comes up, but still being on your toes is something which I'm really happy about. Like, I really love what I'm doing in operations. This was the first opportunity that I got to take care of the entire operations. So the sense of responsibility that I have on my shoulders, I will deliver it. So this is the motto that I have.
Okay. And on the same lines,
Yeah,
uh, how does it feel when you witness smiles on those whom we are serving,
yeah.
especially children? How does it feel?
Oh, that is really, I can't describe in words, Mehul. There were situations where, people have cried, literally cried. Um, they share stories like saying that they hadn't had any meal, like from past 1 2 days, and this is their first meal, and somehow they get to know about us through someone who is helping them to get the food. So once they get this meal, right, so once that is in their hands, once they start eating it, so it's really, it moves a lot. It moves a lot with them. And also with one situation where there was a girl who had accompanied her grandfather. They had moved from some state in north, and this was her first meal. She said that this was her first meal in past 2 days, and that really, it makes you even more giving towards the cause, and it helps you, like, yeah, there is a meal which is waiting for that person and I have to be for it. So yeah, it brings a lot of happiness in what I do, and also the smiles that I give in to the society.
Okay. So, how do you ensure that foundation's efforts are reaching the right people, the right beneficiaries?
So we do a Reiki of our locations before we start anything, right? So we do the groundworks. So once we do the groundworks and do a need-based assessment, and only then we'll take it forward. So we understand whether it is a community that we are getting into, or it's an orphanage, or whether it is something which is like a BBMP shelter. So we do a Reiki of it, and once that is done, so we will also assert whether we can cater to that many crowd. So once that has been analyzed, we'll take that forward.
Okay. So, talking about beneficiaries, can you share us a story of someone whose life was transformed through foundation's efforts?
We have many examples. So as part of our foundation work, we have, that we have the next step after giving food is skill development and employment engagement. So as part of this initial days, after seeing for 1 2 months, I started inducting people, questioning and screening them if whether they can be uh, moved from the place that they are standing right now. So as part of the program's initiative, so we gave a couple of them opportunity to take up jobs based on the skills that they have, and a couple of them lacked skills, and so we try to help them to gain the skill development aspect of it. And then we hired them, as part of the Atria groups. We hired them in our Atria University and also Atria Hotel, Radisson Blue. and we gave this opportunity for them to have a new life. And currently there are about 5 to 6 people who are working, and so it's really happy that to see, to make them think beyond what they are standing right now. And to be honest with you, we should we seek people, we ask people to take this initiative forward. So we want them to evolve from what they are currently living in.
Okay. So, what qualities do you think are essential for someone in operations role, especially in a non-profit organization?
Qualities is trustworthy. First of all, you have to give all in operations. It's always you have to think, work in such a way that there is A and there is B. So if A is a giver and B is the receiver, you are in the operations who cater this, transfer this, all the goodness to that. So if you are in that operations, and you should have that sense of responsibility to engage with the stakeholders and deliver what is been a visionary goal of our founders. So if you have this sense, then obviously you will excel in what you do.
Okay. So, how do you plan to extend Atria Foundation's reach across Bengaluru?
So currently we are engaged in 7 locations as of now. A few of them are being the BBMP shelters. So it's a call out for all the people who are watching this. So we have all the necessary documents, ATG, 12A, CSR Form 1, anyone who wants to contribute to us, whether it's an individual, whether it is an organization, please do come forward for it. So we are working for a cause, and we are in the process of raising funds. So this helps us to engage even more. So we have a vision of opening 300 food banks across Bangalore. So currently our vision is huge, and we are also working towards that. So at the same time, we also seek people who want to be part of this journey, and I really want you to be onboarded in this process.
Coming towards the end of this podcast, if there is one thing that you could change, and just to make foundation's efforts more impactful, what would it be?
So as we are seeking funds right now, and we are in the process of expansion, so the technology that we are currently investing in is something which we are we want to take that forward. So as and when we expand, as and when we take this spread out all across Bangalore, so technology is something which will be dependent on, like we will be dependent on that quite often, and it is prominent. So we want to have more and more technology embedded in our system, so that it is visible to all the stakeholders. And it is also like, let's say, I'll just give an example. If there is anyone who wants to see our live serving, right? So we want to build that transparency. So installing a camera, or maybe a solar powered camera, so we want to have that. So anyone who has given X amount of money, so he or she wants to, or even if there is a company who wants to see what the work is going on live basis, so they can have this access towards this technology, and they can see where their money is being utilized. So we want that transparency to be embedded in all our trucks. Currently we have it in this, and we want to replicate in all the trucks that we haven't. So that's the only thing which I want to implement from an operation point of view.
Okay. So, do you have any concluding words for today's podcast?
Conclusion is not something which I want to see it as an end, but I want to keep this going all throughout. The foundation work is something which is, it might be just one meal a day that a person gets in, but that one meal helps him, helps that person to think even more beyond what the position that he is living in. So we want we want to see more and more lives being changed through the Atria Foundation. So that's my only vision. Like, I just want to replicate this all throughout.
Thank you so much, sir. It was very nice having you, your podcast.
Thank you, Mehul.
Thank you.